This is Android X1138 and welcome back for part 3 of the Unfair Advantage Dark Souls Quick Start Guide. So as mentioned earlier, I'm going to take you guys to have a quick look at the graveyard and we'll take a quick delve into the catacombs, although don't actually go all the way through on this one because this character needs to level up a little bit, so he's still a little bit too puny to actually get through the catacombs in one piece. These guys are pretty tough, but it's worth trying to take this area on early on and get some of the goodies in here. There's a good, very light shield. There are some other items in here that can come in handy, but it's a little fun area to play. These guys, you really do want to try and get them with the backstabs where you can, because they're going to take a lot of hits, and they're actually pretty good at fighting back. They do a lot of damage if they hit you, especially at this early stage when you have very little life force or health. As you watch my health bar when I get hit by one of these guys, just one swipe does a massive amount of damage, so you're going to want to be careful here. Alright, so make my way down here. Then we just got the shield, this Kestis shield. It's actually one of the lightest shields in the game. It weighs 1. Which, especially if you're early on in the game like this and you're trying to keep a lightweight character, can be a very nice shield to have. So, as you can see, trying to take on 2 of these guys at a time is a little difficult with a puny character, but even with the Astora's straight sword, you're not doing a ton of damage to these guys. But the good old backstab always comes in handy and does the trick. There's a couple more of these guys here, and I'm actually going to get my ass handed to me here. I start off fairly well, but I end up taking a pummeling. Unlike a lot of other enemies in this game, the skeletons in the catacombs do parry, as you see there. And that's the end of that. Alright, so being the fool that I am, I'm going to carry on. I'm going to go back. And being the fool I am, I tried going the wrong way. Alright, so I'm going to head back down this time. I shall have my wenge. Again, try and get straight in with the backstabs on these guys. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Now, just hacking and slashing at these guys is definitely a bit of a risky strategy because, as I said, they block pretty well, they parry, and one parry and you're going to be finished. So, try and avoid their blade where you can. If you can get around behind them, get them with a backstab. If not, try and take them from the side. And this is actually, it's interesting, it's kind of a common theme in most martial arts, where if you can control the sideline or the back, you essentially minimize your opponent's chance of actually attacking you. So if you can't get around the back of them, at least try and get to the sides, because that way you can keep laying into them without them having a chance to hit you back. Another thing you might want to do here as well is try and lure them out to these wider areas here, because trying to tackle them in a little tight spot when you've got two of them can be a little bit difficult. Whereas here you've got a lot more room to maneuver, and then you can actually try and get around the back of them and take them out with a backstab. As you can see, when you get killed, you can retrieve your souls as long as you actually get to it before you die. And that little glowing light over there is the Zweihander. The Zweihander is actually one of the most powerful swords in the game, especially if you can upgrade it with lightning or fire. It has a great knockback power, which will make enemies stumble and stagger. This also doesn't require a huge amount of strength and dexterity. I think it's around 20, so you can use it fairly early on. So without having to upgrade to ridiculous strength and dexterity, like to the 40s or 50s. As I mentioned earlier, with lightning, which upgrade, which you'll be able to get once you get into El Mundo, it does become one of the most powerful weapons in the game. So be careful coming down this area here. There are a bunch of these floating skulls which for some reason didn't decide to go off on me when I came through here. But be very careful because these will knock you back and do you a lot of damage if they explode. As you can hear, they give you ample warning. They make that sound just before they're about to explode, so you get a little bit of time to run away from them. But just make sure you keep an eye out for them and either run back up or just run straight down to avoid them. So here I thought I'd wait to see if this skeleton would come back up the ladder, but he didn't, so I just thought I'd do a plunging attack and finish him off that way. Down here there's going to be a couple more of these guys. Again, try and get round for the backstab, which I completely ballsed up there. But I'll get them in the next couple of seconds. There we go. As I said earlier in one of the previous videos, if you can manage to master the backstabs and parries, you'll make this game a lot easier for yourself. Parries are not my forte, I can get them once in a while, but the backstabs are fairly easy to master. So here I was thinking, maybe I should go back up, but I decided I'm actually going to go through and take out this pyromancer. So as you can see, you can choose your homeward bone and head back. I decided I'm actually going to press on and go through to the next bonfire. And one of the things here, the biggest dangers really here is that these guys do you so much stamina damage when they hit you. If you take a direct hit on your shield when they're swiping at you, it will re-stagger you backwards and take down your defense, leaving you wide open for a follow-up attack. So, I didn't do particularly great there. I was definitely much more of a hack and slash. But going down here, be careful of this guy. This is a necromancer. And once you've actually killed the necromancers, the skeletons will not revive in that area. But there are a number of these guys down here in the catacombs. And once you take them one out in a given area, the skeletons in that area will no longer come back to life. So at that point you can fight them with regular weapons. So I'm going to press this lever, which is going to open up the passage. We had a dead end before, that's now going to open that up. Light the bonfire, I'm going to level up a little bit, and then I'm actually going to head back to Firelink Shrine. I'm going to come back here a little bit later to give you this proper walkthrough for this area, to show you how to get the rite of kindling. But before I do that, I want to level up a tiny bit more because I'm really pretty puny at the moment. We'll go off and take out the Taurus Demon. I'm going to try and get Havel's ring, which will allow me to have this sword and this shield, it increases your stamina, I think, and your equipment load for sure, which allows you to, will allow me to be able to jump how I was at the beginning of the game, and roll how I was at the beginning of the game when I had less than 25% carry weight. So that's what I'm going to try and do next. We'll take out the Taurus Demon, and from there afterwards then we'll come back to the catacombs. So as you can see, these various shields and weapons and so forth that's picked up on the way down there. Now we're going to head up, and we're going to head up into our Deadberg. So you can see the S-Dog. So watch out for this guy at the end here. He's going to come jumping in. I completely missed my timing there. That's a problem when you switch games and come back to something. Your timing gets completely messed up. But I got him there with a parry. And just remember to scoot around the back and get the backstab. Make short work of them. Now coming back down here, I'm going to show you, there's a little ring that you can get here, which is the Ring of Sacrifice. If you're wearing the Ring of Sacrifice and you get killed, you don't lose your souls. And there's another ring that you can get later on in the game called a Rare Ring of Sacrifice, which also preserves your humanity if you're in human form. So just jump across there. These little ledges are a little scary at first, but you can actually walk across them safely. And so we're going to head up into the Berg. And again, just look out for goodies on the way. These souls of undead come in very handy, especially when you need to buy items or when you need to upgrade. And as you come down this corridor, you're going to see there's a gate in front of you. You can't open that yet, you're going to have to open that later on in the game. You're going to have to approach it from the other side, so don't even bother worrying about that right now, just run straight up these steps. And look out for these two guys, they're going to come at you as soon as you get to the top here. And as you can see, this sword does really good damage. Even when you don't take them with a backstab, just give them one swipe, these guys, you're going to kill them instantly. Now I'm just knocking these down to give you a little reveal, so you can see there's another goodie down there, but I'm not going to go for that just yet. Instead I'm going to run into this guy's firebomb and get myself a fair bit of damage. So as you can probably see, there's another little gem off to the side there. And as you come up these stairs, be careful not to run out too far, because there's a dragon that comes flying across here and gets stomped on. And further up on this platform there's going to be a lot of guys. So as you can see, I just tried running across there. There's actually a little ledge that you can't jump across from that point, and I'm going to show you how you can get to that. And to do so you have to come down here, and you're going to clear out this little area first, and then you're going to find a way up to that. You don't have to jump across from the roof. Take out these guys down here. Again, just always explore the areas, take a look around and make sure you explore everything properly. There's a lot of little goodies tucked away in this game. It's not hugely generous, but if you keep your eyes open you'll find a reasonable amount of goodies. Now, these guys are hanging from the sides here. Attack them immediately, don't give them a chance to come up. You want to try and take out those first two before you go too far, because otherwise you'll end up with 4 of them at the same time, and that, especially at these levels, can be pretty dangerous. Now, as I mentioned earlier on in the first video, you can trade rubbish with Snuggly. If you drop that in Snuggly's nest, quit out the game, load back in, you'll find that has been replaced with another item. Now, humanity is a really useful item in this game. As you can see, that little circle up in the top left corner with the 2 zeros, that indicates that I'm actually in hollow form, so I'm technically undead at this point. If you use humanity, you can revive yourself back into human form. Being in human form allows you to summon other players. It also allows you to get summoned. Actually, no, you don't need to be in human form to be summoned, but it allows you to summon other players. It also allows you to invade other players. Also, in addition, humanity lets you kindle fires so that you can actually increase the number of Estus flasks that you have at any one time. And as mentioned earlier, by default you only have, you can only level up fires to 10 Estus. However, with the rite of kindling you can take that up to 20. So after we're done with this area here and we've taken on that Taurus Demon, I'm going to head back down to the catacombs and get the rite of kindling. And the reason being really, the earlier you can get that in the game, the easier the game's going to be for you. So here I picked up a wooden shield. Again, not bad, but I've already got the Dragon Crest shield, which is has way better protection, has great fire protection. It's a little heavier, but that's not going to be a problem soon because we're going to get Havel's ring. Havel is an extremely heavily armoured character, so what I'm going to try and do is see if I can summon a couple of guys to help me and take him out that way. Again, you need the master key in order to be able to get access to him this early on in the game, otherwise you'd have to go all the way down to Darkroot Basin to the bottom of the tower that he resides in. But before we do that, I'm actually going to harvest a few souls here by running around taking out a few of these guys. And I'm going to go to the merchant. I'm going to show you where the merchant is here. A few things you're going to want to get, as I said, very early on here, which are the short bow. You're going to want to get a repair box. You should probably get the bottomless box. And obviously some arrows. But I wouldn't waste your resources, waste your titanite shards. You upgrade weapons in this game using titanite shards and chunks and so forth. The short bow is, it's useful for this early part of the game, but you'll be able to get access to the longbow fairly soon. Once you get into Darkroot Garden, you can get access to the longbow, and it's a way more powerful bow. And that's really the one you want to upgrade. For me personally, it's my favourite bow in the entire game. There are many different bows. Well, I say many. There's a number of crossbows. There are short bows, long bows, Dragon Slayer bows, etc. Faris's bow, but the long bow is by far the most powerful. Once it's fully upgraded, I find it does more damage than any of the other ones. Even the Dragon Slayer bow. The Dragon Slayer bow is great, but it's really slow, and this obviously you can fire off so many more shots, it actually works out better. So again, buy the short bow for now, but don't bother upgrading it. Get yourself some arrows. I usually take about 100 or so to start with. I'm going to bring that down, I went a little bit too high. I'm going to save some money so I can get the bottomless box. Now, the residence key is something you're probably going to want to come back and get a little bit later on. When you get into Lower Undeadburg, there is a room down there that you, for some reason, can't unlock with a master key if you've unlocked the house in the top, in Upper Undeadburg, which I'm going to show you in a little while. As long as I remember to. So take out these little guys here. And you see that ladder at the end. That's going to take us to a point where we can jump and get over. Oh, I completely paused it up. To that little ledge I was showing you earlier. Terrible. So in addition to these throwing knives down here, you can see there's that ledge there. This is the only way I can get to that. Just run and jump across here. And then follow it around to the left. There's a little stairway. And over to your right. Other right. Here's a crossbow. And of course, with this game, anytime you rest at a bonfire, all the enemies revive. Which you might be wondering why the hell they all revive, but if you think about it, if you die and you lose all your souls, if they were all dead, you'd have no way to actually make any souls back and level up again. So this comes in really handy. Also because you can, rest at a bonfire, revive them, go back, kill them again, get some more souls, rest at the bonfire, come back, kill them again, get some more souls. Which is exactly what I'm going to do here for the next couple of minutes. I'm not going to bore you guys by making you watch through it all, but I'm just going to do that so I can get the repair box, and then I'm going to repair all my weapons. Getting access to the repair box is pretty critical. You want to get that early, otherwise you're going to find that you're going to get diminishing returns. So that's the end of